Team, can a set of digital night vision devices, do they have a place in the self-reliant lifestyle, in the prepared mindset, in a tactical mindset? We're going to take a closer look at these things and see their pros and their cons and where they actually just might fit in. As we get going, I'm looking forward to your thoughts and your comments below. If you've used anything like this, definitely leave some comments down below. That we can bounce some things off of each other. I'm going to show you a lot of footage from here at the house, around through the county, as well as I loaned it to a friend to see what he thought, and we both kind of had the same opinions about this thing. So this is the One Leaf brand. It boasts a 20 times digital zoom. We're going to put that to the test. It records in 4K, and I will tell you that the file sizes are large. I'm talking large. It comes with a 64 megabyte SD card, and I think will fill up pretty quick. And it says it has almost a 2,000 feet detection range, and it says it has a 2,000 foot detection range. We're going to put this to the test, right? Looking at the top of this thing, it is pretty easy to manipulate as far as the buttons. They're really well laid out and kind of easy to navigate and to get through. I will tell you that I didn't use this thing on a tripod for a reason. One, I wanted to put this thing through a little bit of a tougher test, right? If you can get this good handheld, you should be able to get much better if it is tripod mount, right? Does that make sense? But I wanted to use this thing and to get a good feel of, can you use it on the fly, right? And I'll tell you, in my experience, it's not the easiest thing to use handheld. It's a little bulky, a little jittery, and trying to hold this thing while at the same time manipulate your focus and your IR is a little bit of a challenge. Talk through some of what we're seeing and then talk about where this thing might actually have some applications. So the first thing I want to do is just take this out, actually right behind the CP. This little tree line is probably 5 to 10 meters at most away from me. And what I wanted to show you and talk about at first is that night vision devices are not magic. If you have micro terrain features, if you have thick vegetation, you cannot just easily penetrate through these things. I don't care what model or what brand that you are using. They have their limitations and they have their place. So just don't get it twisted, right? And then from there, we're going to start looking out from the porch out at the road coming into our valley, and just to really emphasize how well you can zoom in that IR beam, right? It can go super wide if you're looking at something close. If you're looking at something further away, you can go ahead and narrow that beam in. But again, it is a little bit awkward to do when you're holding it. There it is, widening it out. And then looking out at a house across a way, which is probably 150 meters. You can see, man, I'm trying to zoom in, trying to get everything as clear as I can, but it just is what it is. Looking out at another field, we got some deer hanging out. So, potentially good use for that, you would think. But wait, what do we have here? We have a deer that we're looking at that's looking back at me. It's like, you looking at me? What are you doing? So just bear that in mind, that you're not hidden when you use these things. Went off to a different spot by a road. Maybe you do, you're thinking, I want to just go check out a crossing site or whatever. Like, I'm just making stuff up. That road and that tree is about 150 meters away from me. And one of those shots of the deer was 150 meters away as well. Here we're looking at the last spot. We'll look at this during the daytime as well, because you can't really see what we're looking at. Now we can kind of see that there is a ridge line, but it is extremely difficult to see everything that was around and in front of us. And here you can see during the day, this is what it looks like during the day. That open field, how far things actually are, the ridge line that we were looking at earlier, and kind of, trying to zoom in and just play with some of the features on this thing. Pretty wild, if you ask me. You expect when you're using night vision devices that you're going to be able to see everything that's out there. Well, when we were looking at that at night, man, there was absolutely no loom. Like, there was no stars. It was cloud covered, right? No stars, no moon, completely dark, right? And so this digital night vision device is out looking, and all you see is that blackness, because even with that IR spot beam, once you get out past a certain distance, you're just not going to be able to pick up anything at all. And again, it doesn't matter if you're using something like this or whether you're using a PVS-14. It all just is what it is, because again, they're not freaking magic. So does digital night vision devices have their place? Well, if you're thinking, I want to use this thing on the move, I want to use it in an LPOP, and I want to go be a cool guy thing, that is not what this is sold for, marketed for, or anything else. And you would be foolish to think that that's what this is gonna get you. Also, on that note, you can see the display and the light that thing puts out. At night, it will light up your whole face like white raccoon eyes or something. So if you had to use this thing in any kind of contested environment, or if you just didn't want to be seen, you would definitely want to use some kind of a sniper veil or a shemagh, over you to help shroud some of that light signature that you're going to have using this thing. I would say that it has a place in the homeowner, right, with the homesteader, like my dad, with his goats and the cows and chickens and everything else. Being able to look out at his 10 acres, which you're not going to see all 10 acres, but being able to look out at some of the fence line and just check some things at night, if that's what you wanted to do. Maybe you're thinking about wolves or coyotes or something like that, could have its place. If you're thinking about, how do I introduce something to a family member, maybe it's a kid, maybe it's a spouse, and I don't want to break the bank buying a $2,500 PVS-14, what can I put in their hands that they're not going to break, that I can still use as a teaching tool for them to understand what you can see at night, what its place is, and what their limitations are. This is not a bad thing for something like that, I suppose. I mean, kids would absolutely love this thing. Lots of people are going to love this thing. The hobbyist, the novice, you don't have to worry about it burning out because it is digital, it's not analog. So it does have some good places for use. If you've ever used digital NVDs, leave some comments down below to validate things that we've talked about here, to offer up your own points that you have, the reasons why you love them, the reasons why you hate them, whatever it is. That way we can all continue to master our craft and develop our tactical virtue. Team, I appreciate you guys. Until then, you stay out there, you keep grinding, and you stay stoked. Team, I want to tell you, man, this is not a sales pitch. I'm not telling you to go out and buy this thing. Just want to look at it. I've got it, and I thought that maybe some of you all might be interested in what this thing can do, what it cannot do. Hello, my friend. Team, if you want to master your craft and develop your tactical virtue, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so that you can stay up to date on future content. Consider becoming a channel member. It's going to give you exclusive access to content not available to anybody else. I appreciate you guys. Until then, you stay out there, you keep grinding, and you stay stoked.